Hey everyone, my name is Jax, and in this video, we're going to be going over how to play Stellaris. This video is not meant for intermediate or advanced players, it's meant for people that are looking for guidance on how to play the game or fine-tune their core mechanics. I'll be playing a game, and I'll be explaining my decisions as well as explaining pretty much everything that I'm clicking or doing in the game, just because there is a lot of information in this game, and I don't believe that the in-game tutorial, which is basically just tips and advice, it doesn't really do a great job of explaining how to actually play the game. So I'll be doing the next best thing, which is to play a game naturally, but explain everything along the way. My decisions, my thought processes, what these things are that I'm clicking, why I'm clicking them, if they're important, if they're not important, so on and so on. If I made a video about like clicking through the tabs and slowly explaining everything, it's just not going to stick. It's going to sound very robotic. It's not going to feel fun. So I think this is probably the best way to do it, is just learn it naturally by watching a game. If I feel that there's something that I missed, I'll probably add a text box over the video so you can read my thoughts on it. Other than that, let's begin. So as you can see, we're just going to choose United Nations of Earth because that's pretty much the middle of the road sort of like baseline civilization. There's they're not too swingy one way or another. They're not overpowered, but they're not underpowered. They're probably in the middle. After you play a game or two fully, you can investigate all these other pre-made ones, or you can make one yourself. And you can see here I got a lot of the DLCs, but I don't have all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and press select, and then you can see that we just have just a normal game on Ensign. Ensign is no inherent advantages, but it's pretty much standard or medium, whatever you would want to call it, and then everything else. So let's go ahead and get started. So we want to pause the game. It's going to come out paused actually, and you can read this. This is just about your origin, prosperous unification. Not too important right now, but if you're into lore, this is a great thing to read. We can go ahead and press begin. You can also hover over these things to see like what traits your civilization has, and for being middle of the road, you can see that there's a lot of bonuses that we're getting from that. And so as you play the game, you'll realize what you prefer and what you don't prefer. But for now, a lot of these things probably don't make sense to you, so I would ignore this for now. So let's go ahead and begin. So the first thing I usually like to do is I like to address the tech, because the tech is what, maybe the meta has changed, but tech rushing has always been in this game really strong, really powerful. You can't go wrong with it. So we'll go ahead and click this, and you can see that there are 3 different techs. So physics is the blue one, society is green, and engineering is like the orange red one. So, and then since we selected physics first, you have the 3 blue tech options. So you have, a military one, a research one, or this is also kind of military. But you can hover over and see what they do. In my opinion, I think going, this early on, you're not going to be attacked. So you just want to get more research going. So we go ahead and select this. You can't go wrong with research. This is always really strong, really powerful. So let's go ahead and select quantum theory. You'll see these buttons. You can change a research, stop researching, and change to another, and auto research. I would not recommend clicking this. Don't, like, as enticing as it is, you want, especially when you're learning the game, you want to be able to read and understand what you're researching. Otherwise, you're going to let the game decide for you, and the game is not going to optimize your research decisions. You have to do that. So let's go ahead and select society. So we have, you can see this like golden border. If you hover over it, it says this tech will remain as a valid option until research. That's what it is. All these are pretty good, but we don't have to worry about food right now, so we're not going to select hydroponics bake. As you can see, it just gives you the ability to build a hydroponics farm on your Starbase. This provides unity. It's good, but right now I still want to focus on research, so let's focus more on research. And lastly, more things. So we have mining output, which is good, army and worker resource output. This can be good, but again, we're sticking to research, so we're just going to keep researching, or give a buff to our research, I should say. So once we got that out of the way, we also have this other thing, open council positions. So we can see that we have 2 open council positions. sometimes a game gives you people that you can already have. So it looks like we can select this person right off the bat. So boom. Otherwise, you'd have to recruit someone, and that costs unity. You can see here we don't have enough unity. This is your unity. We have 0 stored. So luckily, we do have a person. Click that person, and then let's see if we have another person here. We do. So let's go ahead and click that person. You'll see what their ethics are and their traits. So it looks like they get a 10% buff to their experience gain, and this person has an L. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce that right now, but yeah. So that trait or that ethic. So we filled up those, and they're currently doing the infinite opportunities agenda. So once that loads up, then we can select another, and this will move here, and then we can select another one. From here, we have a lot going on. You could see what we have is a starbase. This is a starbase. This is our ships. So you can see, oops. You can see our ships next to our starbase. So if I unpause it and I move them, you can see there's little starships, they move. And then I'm going to just have them go back and enter orbit. And then we have a science ship. So if we press M, and then this, by pressing M, it's going to take us to the galaxy map. And the galaxy map is what we're going to be mainly, you know, if you scroll out, you can see how big this is. So each, we can go to different galaxies, and for this specific reason, I'm going to pause it again because I don't want to keep moving time if we don't need it. I'm going to see which one is probably best. So looking here, we usually want to scout places that have a world, especially one that's ideally one that we can colonize. And although you have to scout or survey the system, you do that by selecting your science ship and then right-clicking and then press survey system. And so that science ship is going to go there and figure out what's going on in the system and tell you all the goodies that could be in here and figure out what world this is. However, you don't actually have to survey it. You can see what world it is right off the bat, and it's a continental world. Even though it shows orange, which, you know, half orange, half gray, meaning like they don't know what it is, you can still figure out which world is probably best for you. And by seeing that we are humans, we like continental worlds, this is probably a good first place to research or survey. So we're going to go here, and then probably go to this one next because there's another world right there. So after that, we also have a construction ship. So we want to send our construction ship to, well, construct, right? So you can see, like, I guess if you zoom out, it's almost better. But you can see like these green, like highlighted numbers. That means it already has something. Meaning there's already like a mining station or a research station on it. This doesn't. So this, you know, Uranus 2 Energy does not have a station on it. Same for this this one right here. So we're going to go ahead and right-click this and then build a mining station. So that's going to tell our construction ship to go ahead and build. So let's go ahead and also check out our world. Just to kind of give a brief overview on this, we're going to want to focus on building these building slots as well as leveling out our district numbers. And so you can see we only have 2 empty districts left. But if you see here, it looks like we could fill up, you know, 5. So, or sorry, I can't zoom in. I think 3 additional districts can be brought in, but they have to be cleared through the features. But we don't have enough energy to do that. So, in my opinion, since this is your first starting base, you want to have everything equal. I like to have everything rounded out, so I'm gonna probably build an industrial and mining, so everything's at 3. And then from here, I'm probably gonna build a holo theater to make my people happy. And the reason why we want them happy is because it increases stability. Stability is good. So we got a little bit of crime too. So something we can do is we notice that if we go to population and look at our specialists, we can see that there is no enforcer. So what we can do is drop this down and click. I think we can. decrease job priority, and so now someone's assigned there. And then we can assign it back, and I think it's going to take away from the clerk. So that is good, because we want our specialist jobs filled out, the workers kind of, you know, whatever, but our specialists are really important. So we have all of our specialists filled out, and when someone's born on this planet, then they'll fill out the clerk position and life skill. So now you can see that our crime dropped back down, and if crime is high, you can hover over a lot of things to kind of give you a description of stuff, but if crime is high, that reduces stability. The higher stability we have, the better. And you can see stability affects, you know, trade values, resource pull, immigration pull, all that stuff. So let's go ahead and unpause it and see now that we've done those things, our ships are going to do the tasks that we assign them. And so you can see the science ship went over here, and the construction ship went over here. And if you go to the galaxy map, you can see that there are these numbers with these signs here. These mean resources that you can build upon. So once, we'll see how long this construction ship takes. Once it's done constructing, I believe the mineral should go away. So let's watch this. It's about to disappear. So this
construction completed,
and it went away. And then we got a bunch of other pop-ups. So you'll get a ton of pop-ups. It's just unfortunate how the game is, but they give you a ton of pop-ups. Press OK. Construction is also complete. Perfect. And then we also have a first contact. So we can handle first contact by clicking this and then assigning an envoy. It doesn't matter which one you assign, but we'll assign the first one. We'll get Chang on it. This one, it's just asking how do you want to handle first contact protocols. You can hover over each choice. I prefer to handle it with open arms because you get 50% more influence and your first contact speed is 10% faster. Whereas like you can get, you know, first contact targeting difficulty +2, but to me I'd rather get more influence to spread out my base, so I do this one. So let's get Cheng on it. Press accept, and he's going to start working with these people to try to make a connection with them. So now that our construction ship is done, now it's got like this sleeping sign that's idle. So let's go ahead, and you can actually, you don't even have to be on the what is this called? System view. You can be on the galaxy map and have them build whatever you want. So I prefer building research first and then mining station. So you can right click and then left click here, and he will, or this thing will automatically build the research station. And then you can also queue it too by holding down shift, right click. You can see you can't, you know, queue another research station, so now we queue the mining station. So if we hold down shift, right click again, now we can't do any because it's queued. So we got this pop-up, it's traditions. You can click any one of these, but I like to click this one. And so I personally like to do expansion. Discovery is also a good one, but you can go through and hover over each one and decide which one you want to go through. My opinion, I think expansion is not the best, but that's just how I play. That's my play style. So I'm gonna go expansion because I think starting out with 2 populations on a new planet is really nice. So when you'll get this noise that when they make contact or they've made more progress, but it looks like they actually didn't make progress, they got kicked back a bit. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we can also press M to go back to kind of see like what's going on. And if the game is moving a bit too slow for you, you can click this to go fast, fastest, you know, whatever. I think for your first game, it's probably best if you just go standard. Just go normal speed.
Construction completed.
Because it's a lot to take in. So see how we didn't even... they're completely done with both. So he completed, or they completed both of the queues. So now I'm gonna right click here and send this construction ship over here because I know that this planet is going to be habitable, so we're going to have to build an outpost to take over this system. In addition to that, I'd also like to go to my shipyard. Go right here.
Council agenda ready.
And I'm gonna go to shipyard and build a new science ship because I want to get more scouting going. So we got tradition. I'm gonna start colony fever because I think starting with 2 pop right off the bat's great. Council agenda. Click this, so now it's launched. So now we can start a new one. Hovering over each one. I think these two we don't really have a use for right now. So evolving society for the monthly unity percentage bonus is great. So I'm gonna click that one. So now we have a new science ship.
System survey concluded.
But before we get that, so now it completed its research. So now I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna survey this one because I know that there's a continental world here, so that's gonna be a great grab for us. We're gonna go ahead and go there. We can't actually survey any systems, so if we try to right click, we can't survey. And the reason for that is because it requires a scientist. So we're gonna have to left click here. And we can't select this one because this person's already under the UNS Galileo. So we have a selection of 4 people that we can choose from. Each one has different traits and ethics. Given that this is going to be on a science ship that's scouting, this one's probably the best because survey speed of 10+. So we're going to go ahead and hire this leader. And to make things easy, this is okay, science ship automation. I just want them to explore and survey systems, so they're automatically going to explore all these things around us without us having to interact.
We have detected an anomaly.
Previously in the game, you actually had to research that, but they give it to you right off the bat, so that's really nice. It makes it easier. You don't have to micromanage too many things at once. So let's go ahead and click here to see where they're at. Still nothing. Looks like there was a major setback, and so difficulty is now 7 when it was previously 5. So let's go ahead and build a Starbase / outpost. And the reason why we need to do that is because if we want to colonize this, we need to claim it. Because you cannot claim planets without having an outpost there. This is just informing you of something that you found, so we found this exotic gas. We can't use it right now, but it is still something really nice to have. The fact that it's so close to our starting area is going to be great for us.
Analyst readings registered.
And so you get these pop-ups. You don't have to address them. You can worry about these later. In my opinion, I wouldn't worry about these, just because this is something that you could, if you hover over it, you can see that like little microscope sign. That's what this is, and it's just an anomaly. I wouldn't worry about it until mid-game, just because these don't really take up, or they don't provide a crazy amount of stuff. But I would be more concerned about scouting the area before worrying about anomalies. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. I wish there was a way to filter pop-ups like that so you don't get those.
Construction completed.
So now the construction is completed. So we can do the same thing we did before, right click and build research. Holding down shift, right click, build mine station. So now it's going to build both. We can also left click the little world icon, colonize, but you can see that we don't have enough of the consumer goods. So what we have to do is left click here and then buy. And we can do that because it's like a little market going on, internal market. We just spend a little bit of energy credits to get it going. So now we colonize, boom, we have enough. You can name it whatever you want. I just like to take the first one that pops up. That's okay. So we can see what they got.
An alien nation is hailing us.
So we got, wow, okay. We got a Shroud Witches. So these provide some roleplay sometimes. You can read here. you could see like what it would take to pay for this, but I don't want to pay that much. That's a lot. So I'm just gonna say goodbye, and we found Shroud Witches, so they live right there. Pretty cool. So we got another tradition available. Starbase influence costs. I'm gonna go ahead and click that because we're trying to expand as much as we can. We're gonna probably build our next starbase over here. So now that we have a bit of minerals, let's go ahead and go back to Earth. And let's build that holo theater. The reason why I want to build the holo theater is because, again, amenities brings higher stability.
Construction completed.
And this is also going to produce unity as well. So more unity is great. So let's go ahead and build that. I'm also going to build a mining district because we have enough for that. And you see when we clicked it, these drop down because that's the maximum amount of districts that this build or this planet can support. So the you can see the size of the planet is how many districts it can support. So we can support 18 districts.
Anomalous readings registered.
Again, just an anomaly. I'm gonna exit out of those as fast as I can. You'll see those pop up really quick. I'm just trying. I've just been trained to close those out as soon as I can. Just because I don't deal with them until later. I just don't think that it's worth the time right now. So, but if you have, you know, something that can
system
afford it,
survey
you know,
concluded.
like if you have a free science ship, then by all means go for it. So same thing here. We're just going to have them automate scouting. So go ahead and press start. And they're going to start scouting for us. So as you can see, it can be beneficial if you get multiple scouts going, because that way you could start just scouting your area like crazy and expanding like crazy. But the problem is that the game used to make it so leaders were done by energy credits and not unity. But you want unity to, you want a monthly gain to be high of unity. But leaders cost unity. So if you are reducing your unity pool, then you're not getting your traditions out. So it's almost like a catch-22. You don't want to build too many science ships now. Whereas before you could build as many science ships as you want and your unity wasn't affected. It was only the energy that was affected. So you can see that the colony ship is arriving, and they're going to take over this continental world. And we're going to have another planet that we can build.
Construction completed.
So now this is completed, so let's go ahead and... Oops. Press that. Select, shift-click, research, shift-click, mining station.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
So now we have one of our research done, so go ahead and click News Research. So now we're left with a few different things.
Situation log has been updated.
I personally don't think that you should be focusing on military so early, so I like to focus on other things. The planet speed, for me, I think it's good. So here you can hover over and see which ones you want. You can take the Unity if you want to deal with this, or you can do the survey chain. I think doing the quest is pretty fun, so I do the quest.
A new world of opportunities
So
awaits.
we got the first colony, so now we have a new planet. So now this colony is going to start, and it's going to slowly build. You'll see it slowly rise. Like that. And we're going to do the same thing for this one. We're colonized, but again, we don't have enough. So what we're going to do is buy more there, and boom. Get another colony going. And you want to get colonies up and running as soon as possible, because the more colonies you have, the more population you have, empire population, the more resources you get. You know, the more things you can do, the more things can be produced, that sort of thing. It's basically just resource management. You want to expand, whether it's tall or wide. Tall being like you expand in only a few areas, but you build a lot in those areas, or you expand wide by taking over a lot.
System survey concluded.
Take over a lot, but you might overexpose yourself. It just depends on, and you'll find how you like to play. As soon as you get a few games under your belt, you'll figure out which way you prefer playing. I prefer playing wide. That's the way I like to play. I like to expand out, take up as much territory as possible, and then basically have enemies have to attack me to take my territory if they want it. So here, let's see. I think we want to get population growth going, so let's go ahead and do that, because more population is better.
System survey concluded.
And you'll get those as saying they're just done with the system survey. Not too important. So now that we're here, we can go two ways. We have our construction ship. We could build here, or we could build here. It just depends. At this point, you're going to want to look at your resources, because your resources are finite and they only produce at a certain rate. So, and same with our influence. So what does an outpost take? It takes influence, and I think alloys. It's going to take influence and alloys. And if you have 2 or 3 construction ships, you're going to run out of influence and alloys pretty quick. So we have to, at the beginning, you usually want to take what's called like choke points, where like you see how this has 4 different galaxies connected to. So that's a choke point. So in order to get here, you have to go through here. Or in order to get here, you have to go through this point if you're coming from this way. So you ideally want to take all choke points near your main area. So this is a good spot. This is a good spot. This is a good spot. So this is a good spot. So all these are good spots because they're choke points. Whereas like if you took this spot, it's not a good spot because I could still get to here from here, or here, or here. So this isn't necessarily a choke point. Although it could be considered a choke point for this one if you're coming from this side. So say if you couldn't get this one,
research concluded.
This is the next best one because you still have to go through here in order to get here if you're coming from this side. I know that's kind of a weird way of saying it, but yeah. So here, let's go ahead and do survey speed because I want to get my scouts out there as quickly as possible. Again, you want to be looking at what you're researching because you want to understand what it is you're researching and why. And so a lot of the times you're going to be spending your view in this. It's not the system view, it's the galaxy map. You're going to be looking at the galaxy map because you're going to want to be expanding out as far as possible. So let's go ahead and build an outpost here because not only is it a choke point, but it's got some pretty decent stuff in the system.
Knowledge is key to the universe.
So let's go ahead and build that industrial one. And while we're here, let's go ahead and start the new research. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this planetary unification. So another building we could build is we're not building too many consumer goods.
A new world has been colonized.
So we could build
construction completed,
or we can build an alloy, but we're running low on consumer goods. So I think civilian industries
readings registered
is probably the best. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because we want to balance out our monthly gain. So our monthly gain is now negative. So this is going to help balance it out by building the civilian industries. So here, go ahead and do research, and then shift left click, or shift right click, and then left click here, while holding down shift still.
System survey concluded.
So we got our first colony up. Looks like you can assign a leader to it. I don't know if I want to assign a leader to it just yet because I don't know if I want to spend the unity for it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that alone, and I'm going to build the... I'm going to go ahead and build the Hollow Theater just to get good stability. You can see here there's a lot of city districts on this planet. And the districts, you're going to want to focus your planets on, you know, the district size. So this would be a good spot for industry or city. So we're going to go ahead and build another city. Well, we're lacking the minerals, so we'll have to wait. But this would probably be a good bureaucratic planet, or it'd be a good industrial planet, given on how many district sizes it is. So I would like to build another scientist just to kind of get things moving faster to expand quicker. But I'm also afraid to reduce my unity. But I think I'm still going to do it anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my starship. Or star yard. Shipyard, not star yard. And build another science ship.
Anomalous readings registered.
Press OK. Close that. So, cool. Okay. It looks like we got got enough to build a district. So go ahead and build a district there. We got another science ship, so let's go ahead and click here, and let's look for a good scientist who would be. I think this person's good because their archaeology skill is +1, so I like that. And the reason why I'm selecting it is because we already have a archaeology site that's a difficulty 1, so we can technically actually have this person start on that. And if it increases in any more difficulty, we'll stop him. But I think for now, we'll have him do it just to kind of get things going. And archaeology sites can produce relics, or they can produce resources. They can produce a lot of things. And here's another. So you can see this is a difficulty 2. So technically, our new scientist could do it, but it's, you know, I'd like to at least have a +1 over the difficulty that's shown. Just my personal.
Systems survey completed.